Frankenstein Legacy Plot Summary. Frankenstein Legacy is a 2024 thriller starring Juliette Aubrey as Millicent, Michelle Ryan as Lady Charlotte, Katie Sheridan as Clara Browning, and Paul Tonkin as Captain Walton. The film begins in 1790 on Little Burke ship in the Arctic Ocean. Victor Frankenstein, Andrew McGillen, seeks help at Little Borax after being stranded on the ice for a long time. However, before losing consciousness, Victor mentions a creature, a demon, and the pursuit. Soon after, Higgins, Robert Dukes, seizes Victor Frankenstein's diary and attempts to sell it. However, he is betrayed by the buyer, who stabs him and tries to experiment on him. The experiment fails, and the buyer is killed. Similarly, Victor Frankenstein's diary is passed from one person to another, resulting in the deaths of those who possess it. Eventually, Millicent obtains the diary and takes it to London, England. Why does Millicent buy Victor Frankenstein's diary? Millicent's husband, Robert Browning, suffers from a degenerative illness that renders him unable to walk, unable to bear seeing him suffer any longer. Millicent takes it upon herself to find a cure for his illness. Being a brilliant scientist in her own right, Millicent sets out to cure her husband's illness after discovering Victor Frankenstein's diary. Despite the rumors surrounding Victor Frankenstein and his creation of a monster, Millicent wastes no time in delving into the diary's contents upon bringing it to London, England. Her first success comes when a dead mouse is revived back to life. However, the mouse becomes more aggressive and bites her finger, prompting her to kill it. Why doesn't William Browning like his mother? Millicent, William's mother, is deeply in love with Robert, his father. Her love for Robert is so consuming that she spends most of her time researching and experimenting to find a cure for his degenerative illness, which prevents him from walking on his own. Unable to bear seeing Robert suffer, Millicent becomes determined to cure him. However, in her single-minded focus on finding a cure for Robert, Millicent has neglected her relationship with William, her son, for decades. This neglect becomes evident when William talks to his father, Robert, about his mother's lack of love and attention towards him. William describes his mother's love as selfish and exclusive, but Robert reassures William that his mother loves him, too. Later, Robert opens up to William about his feelings. Who is Lady Charlotte, and what does she want? While searching for Victor Frankenstein's diary, Lady Charlotte, played by Michelle Ryan, pays a visit to Robert Browning's house. She demands the diary, which Robert possesses. Despite Robert's repeated denials regarding the diary, Lady Charlotte refuses to believe him. She claims to represent a group of collectors interested in the diary and offers to pay any price for it. Before leaving, Lady Charlotte warns Robert that she will obtain the diary one way or another. A couple of nights later, two men break into the house in search of the diary. During the search, one of the men encounters Robert and knocks him down while trying to stop him. They then team up against Robert, injuring him severely. However, they soon discover that Robert does not actually possess the diary. Why does Robert kill himself? After being assaulted by the two strangers, Robert loses his will to live. He confides in William about his feelings, but Millicent refuses to let him die. She is determined to find a cure for his illness, and until then, Robert must stay alive. However, Robert and William become frightened by the intensity of Millicent's love for him. Later that night, Millicent gives Robert warm milk to soothe his mind. Unbeknownst to him, she adds morphine to the mixture, causing him to become drowsy. While he is asleep, Millicent amputates one of Robert's legs. Horrified by Millicent's obsessive love, Robert takes his own life by consuming morphine. How is Frankenstein's monster created? Unable to accept her husband's death, Millicent is hell-bent on bringing Robert back to life. After successfully reviving a rat, Millicent exhumes Robert's body and conducts experiments on him. In her first attempt, she successfully reanimates her husband. However, realizing that Robert's body is deteriorating, Millicent seeks a new body for him. She ventures to Potter Field and retrieves a corpse to use as a replacement. However, her initial attempts to reattach severed body parts to Robert fail. Consulting Victor Frankenstein's diary, Millicent learns that only fresh body parts can be successfully attached. Determined to find a suitable replacement, she goes to St. Dowson Asylum, kills Alfred, and brings his body back to her laboratory. Millicent attaches Alfred's leg to Robert's body, resulting in the creation of the Frankenstein monster. How does William find out about his mother's secret? At St. Dowson's Asylum, 2 patients mysteriously vanish, leaving no trace behind. Bremmings, a staff member, believes they simply chose to leave. To investigate, William decides to speak with the trustees, one of whom is his own mother, Millicent. After discussing the matter with his mother, Millicent assists in arranging the trustee meeting. Later, William and Liza search for clues within the asylum. It's during this investigation that William discovers his mother's involvement in the disappearances. By piecing together clues, such as his mother's odd behavior and the absence of his father's grave at a proper burial site, William realizes that his mother intends to use the bodies as a test subject. How does Frankenstein legacy ends? William is horrified to discover his father in the basement of their home, transformed into a monstrous creature by his own mother. Just as Millicent attempts to sacrifice her son, Lady Charlotte arrives on the scene and tries to stop her. Amidst the chaos of a struggle between William and Lady Charlotte's men, the monster breaks free and saves William. The monster then turns on Millicent and strangles her to death before fleeing from the scene. Afterwards, Lady Charlotte reveals the truth about Victor Frankenstein's diary. She says that instead of keeping it for herself, she intends to destroy it. While tracking the monster, Liza, William, and Lady Charlotte arrive at a party. The guests are startled to see the monster, with the exception of Clara, who bravely approaches him. Unfortunately, in an act of self-defense, the monster accidentally injures Clara. As William moves to stop the monster, it grabs a torch and sets itself on fire, ultimately ending its own life. At the film's conclusion, the vicar discovers Victor Frankenstein's diary, hinting at the possibility of a sequel in the future.